Hey guys, welcome to another remodel. We are in another remodel. Keep watching, keep watching. Welcome back to another video. This is your host, Junior Garcia, the Carpenter's Touch, the podcast. And today I have my guest, Gizzy Credit. And I wanted to bring somebody out to kind of talk about credit because a lot of people ask me, listen, I want to get a construction loan. I want to get, just a loan to do this type of construction or an addition, or, I want to build up my credit. And we come down to the point that when we go through the credit process, they don't qualify. They're not even close. They won't even, like what we say, they won't even borrow. They won't even, no one will lend them a pen, right?
Correct.
So they're in that stage and, but there's a different step to get to better credit. And that's why I wanted to bring somebody out here, because if you're thinking about doing an interior renovation project, this is the guy that can help you out. And we're gonna kick it off, because so give me a second and let me introduce you to Guillermo from Gizzy Credit.
Thank you, Junior. Aquí, you already know, been doing credit repair since 2009. But my YouTube videos early on were like, they're not the best, but people saw authenticity. Yeah. People saw that, I really wanted to help them out. And that's how I started on YouTube. I mean, but probably where you found me at.
I found you on YouTube and Instagram.
Social media, because those are the things that you have to use in order for you to just like grow your business and, people not to like trust you. You could build a lot of trust by just being online every day, making content, and forget about it. You're gonna get customers who are gonna question you, but then you're gonna have to back it off. And I do have videos that back me off as far as what I've been able to help customers from across the world. I gotta say across the world.
A lot. I'm gonna say a lot of states.
Well, not only states. A lot of
Hawaii,
states.
I've heard a lot of different of your testimonials.
Bahrain. I got a plaque from Afghanistan when we were in the Afghanistan war, 2014. I got a plaque when someone that I helped out that was over there.
And
Bahrain,
they were military.
They were military.
They were military.
Correct.
Okay.
And I have customers in Italy who are in the military. As long as you have a SSN. And,
right.
And an address, and of course the military has an address that eventually you're gonna get your mail.
Right.
So you could help people out all over, and as long as we have the credit monitoring to monitor their credit, and so that they could see that we're actually doing work, right. We're able to do things. So customers, I've helped out Bahrain, Afghanistan, Japan. People in Italy. I've had people call me from Saudi Arabia because he has a house in Florida.
Right.
And he was in Saudi Arabia, but I need to fix my credit. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I remember you had one that you mentioned they were in Hawaii as well.
Oh, Hawaii, yeah. No, a couple of people in Hawaii contact me, even though we were in Jersey, and there was how much? Like 13-hour difference? Like 7 hours.
It's a nice flight.
It's a nice, but no, help people go from, I've had the worst. I don't know if you saw it, but I posted on Instagram a long time ago, Equifax credit report. 322 credit score.
Because I remember, so I'm going to stop for a second, because the reason why I know Gizzy, because I used to follow him on Instagram, and then I used to watch all the YouTube videos, and I said, this guy's like for real. He's the real deal, right? Because you wanted to get somebody that you can trust. I'm giving you all my credit information. Everything is on this credit report.
Yeah.
I'm passing it to you. Are you going to scam me? That's what I used to think, right? And I used to watch you. And then this was the days before he was married, right? Because he used to do CrossFit and everything. He would do the CrossFit. And I'm like, yo, this guy's CrossFitting and doing credit. And then I'm like, wait. And then he'll be showing his guns. And I'm like, what's going on? And then, but I remember how you would show people, but you would actually, take a black marker and
of course,
and not show their address or their name and stuff, but go through the whole process of this person has 15 judgments and charge-offs and bankruptcies
Child
and stuff,
support,
child support
all that stuff, yeah.
So I would see that and I say, this guy's posting every single day, and that's why I called you, and you guys helped me and my wife with our credit, and we were able to buy a house, right?
Correct.
So
But even you got scammed before
Yes.
contacting me. So that's the story of our life, or the story of a professional credit repair specialist. It's always, your friend or your family member recommends someone, they scam you, then you want to go to this big corporation that you may think they're going to help you, but they charge you month to month and they only work on a couple of accounts at a time. And then that messes you up.
And you're basically, you're just reeling in. I mean, it comes to thousands of dollars. By the time 2 or 3 years come through, they've only raised your credit score maybe 40 points, if that. And so when my experience was that I had two. I had one company that I hired them, and then I think it was like $3,800 to fix my credit because I wanted to fix my credit, right?
Correct.
And then they didn't. After a year, I'm like, you guys are not doing nothing. We can't do anything more than that.
Yeah,
so I felt like there was no communication. There was nobody I can really talk to. It was just like a monthly call. I would have one monthly call for about 5 or 10 minutes and see what they can do for me. And I didn't have the access that you give out. You know how you have the screen and you can see what everything happens monthly. So, and then I got scammed by another company as well, and they just kept on crediting me every month. Something, we didn't do nothing, let me credit you back. And after 3 months, I'm like, I'm not going to give you $1. Don't even credit me anymore because it's not working out. I guess you don't know your craft. So, I hate to make a transition, but I definitely got to talk about Puerto Rico, man. So Puerto Rico beat the Dominicans, sorry, Bobby, you know what I'm saying? And producer Pete, he
I didn't say who was gonna win.
No, what?
No, I didn't.
What?
I did not.
Go back to the other tape and you'll see what he said, right? That crazy stuff.
I said we will find out
Right.
on Friday.
So today's Friday. Today's Friday. In the real time, when you see this, it'll probably be Sunday, right? But
they did the infield home run.
They did the infield home run.
Oh my God!
Whoa,
I felt like I was watching like Little League,
Yes, it was.
A Little League,
Bad News Bears, and it was like, oh my God, it was like a chicken little hit the ball, boop, and he runs and goes to third. They throw it to first base. They throw it to second, third. Comes home, he slides.
Oh my God!
But I needed to get that out of my chest before I really get into credit, right?
You're still a Dominican brother.
That's it. We love los Dominicanos. Tú sabes. We love them a lot. And Puerto Rico is going to be playing Mexico today. That should be like 10-0. What do you think, Pete? What do you think, Pete?
First of all. Let's just get something out of the way.
Right.
The Puerto Rican team should be playing for the U.S. team.
That's a low blow.
Wow.
We're independent when it comes to baseball. We're definitely independent. Yeah, they play differently. I mean, they're playing on a different level too. They play very good.
Okay.
So getting to.
Wait. What was Junior's credit score when you met him?
I forgot. Oh no. You got 3 bureaus: Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Not all of them are going to be the same. So I could remember probably a 545 to a 565. 500 probably too. You know what I'm saying?
525.
525.
525 on one, 505 on the other. I remember.
But people.
So my credit was not really good. That's why I reached out to you.
Well,
still I had 2 other companies trying to help me out.
Yeah, and as a business owner, because you may have, like you say, you may get paid every 30 or 45 days that you do a job and I don't have the money, I could pay you in 30 days. Okay, great.
Right.
Or I don't have money, I'll give you 45 days. You have income coming in. So, people who want to fix their credit, you got to have income that comes in so that when your credit is fixed, you go out there and access new credit and then you gotta have money so you could pay that debt off.
So what's the fastest way, right? So let's say let's say I have a cousin, right, and she wants to fix her credit like fast because they want to buy a house. Right, and they want to fix their credit, but they want to do it independently because they have some time on their hands.
Yeah.
What are the simple things that they can do to in 30 days raise their credit score 10 or 20 points? Right.
Well, that's a you gave me a lot there because you said they have some time, and then you said 20 days to see an increase in credit scores. They could do many things. They could, if they don't have anything at the moment, I would advise the only time I would advise someone to be able to give their credit to someone else. Like, you're not gonna go and co-sign for the house, no. But what you can do is you can add them as an authorized user to your credit cards, and that will instantly give them a credit score, especially if that credit card.
I'm not gonna give my cousin. Look. So what I'm saying is I'm not gonna give my cousin authorized to my credit. She wants to independently fix her credit herself. What are the things that she can do by herself? Because she has a little time. I mean, she wants to buy a house maybe in 6 or 7 months, but she wants to fix her credit in a way that she can do it, by herself.
Well, she has to be
besides hiring a professional like you. I had to hire you.
Okay.
I didn't have time. I had to work. I worked, about 10, 12 hours a week.
Yes.
I was too busy. I needed to get a house. I needed somebody to come in and make quick results. You did it. I paid you, and you turned it around. You turned my wife's credit in 30 days. Bang, she was already at 7. So for me, it took 3 months. And you was always telling me, follow the process, guys.
Correct.
Follow the process. It's sometimes it takes people 30 days, 60 days, 90. Some people it takes a year.
Yeah.
So I stood with you. I stood with you for about a year and a half, even though within 3 months I got what I needed, right? But we went through the whole process.
Well, as you could see, a lot of people come to me after divorce or after bankruptcy, and they don't know what's going to happen with my life financially. So when you have someone who comes to you like that, you have to take it step by step.
Okay.
So we know that with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, not all 3 bureaus are going to get done at the same time. That never happens. Never happens. Maybe 2 bureaus, which that has happened to me, and I've got a video on that. But I never seen it again.
Go to the YouTube. It's YouTube.
Oh man, yeah, that was good. That was a good one. To get fast results like that, that's like endorphins. When you like doing something for a living,
right,
that it gives you like this good feeling.
Yes.
That's the good feeling that it gives you. But aside from that, 3 bureaus, not all of them are gonna get back to you at the same time. So it's always one that's gonna get done first, then the second, then the third. That could all take 30 days or 12 months or more from either of the 3. So we don't know which one would get done, but from our experience in the last 14 years doing this, close to 15,000 customers, we know that Equifax will get done first.
Right.
Then TransUnion, then Experian. So what happens if you get done with Equifax? There's a lot of banks that will only run your Equifax report.
Only.
And because a lot of people don't know this.
Right.
They think that all 3 bureaus need to be high in order for them to start getting financing and to restart their financial life. Well, no. One gets done and your credit is good on one, we send you to an Equifax only lender. A lot of time it's not going to just be a big commercial bank. It'll be like a credit union.
Okay.
So the credit unions are really aggressive in lending, especially if you have a good credit on Equifax. And the one thing that when you go and apply to a bank that will only run 1 bureau, is that you have to make sure that your name and address, however you spell your name, however you put your address, has to be exactly the same way that is on that report.
On the report
itself, so that when they put that information in, they run that report.
I spoke to a gentleman that he sells cars, right? Mm-hmm. And he says that there are certain banks that TransUnion only deals with, that Equifax only deal. So they'll only pull that credit through TransUnion or through Equifax because they're only dealing, that bank is only dealing with that credit report. They're not dealing with the other two. So let's say if they decide to pull TransUnion, guess what? My score is not gonna come up really, really high. But if they pull Equifax, it's gonna come up higher. But since that bank or that lender doesn't use that credit, they're only gonna use their. And so it's in TransUnion, I may have a 640. At Equifax, I might have 700. So it's a disbalance.
It's good to know where you are at, because what you gave an example of is going to a car dealership, and what we call it in the industry is they shotgun your credit. That means that they grab your credit report, they tell you they're only going to run one inquiry, and they shotgun it to 8 to 15 banks.
So they send it out to 15 banks.
Correct.
So you got inquiry.
Correct. So that's why it was recommended, like people who come to me and they want a vehicle loan or refinance their vehicle loans.
Okay.
I say just go to one bank, then that credit union that only gonna pull Equifax, they're gonna give you a new credit card, and they'll give you a car loan at a very good rate.
So my question to you, let's say if I am gonna run how do I get my report as just a regular person, for free, right?
Annualcreditreport.com is where everyone goes. And
say that again.
Annualcreditreport.com.
So I can get my credit score.
You could get it, 2 times a year.
2 times a year.
Yeah,
okay.
2 times a year.
So the report and a score.
I believe for the score you have to pay like $8 to $15, depending. But the report, they comes to you.
The report.
You'll get everything. And what's on the credit report, you'll see. I mean, some people find it hard to read the credit report because it may be confusing. It may be overwhelming to see all these things and be like, what is going on here? But that's why you could also get credit monitoring. And in credit monitoring, they make it really simple for you to say your account, when the account started, or when the account is closed or opened. And it'll also tell you the date that it started. But at the same time, those things could be probably incorrect as well when the time started. Because remember, you have Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, and I don't want to go off topic, but that's why all these websites, they're going to give you all different scores, because their algorithm is going to be different. They weigh different, like the credit score is way different. Like it depends on the time that you had this account, right? It depends on the limit to the balance. It could be various different things that could be algorithmically. That's why everyone normally goes to the website that is going to give them the highest score. But
you're at age 50. I am.
That's why people go to like Credit Karma.
So I was going to talk about Credit Karma because
Credit Karma is famous for
giving you like this big score, but the reality is it's not the truth.
No, because it's a personalized credit scoring model. It's not a commercial bank that is running your credit. So your real scores are when a real commercial bank, runs your credit. So that's why it's different. When you go and get a mortgage, they run your mortgage accounts, right? But if you don't have any, then they'll see your installment and your revolving account. Right? For a mortgage, they run your FICO, which they run all three, and the middle is your FICO score. So when you go and get a vehicle loan, normally they'll run 2 bureaus or just one. But normally it's 2 when you get a vehicle loan. It's 2, correct. 2 or 1, depending on how many banks they deal with. When you go and get a bank, when you go to a bank to get a credit card, they only look at your revolving credit card accounts, and they only run 1 bureau. Right. So the installment accounts are going to be looked at when you go and do a vehicle loan, installment accounts. So when you look at your report, you're going to see real estate, you're going to see revolving, which is credit cards. You're going to see installment, which could be
medical bills, right? Too.
Well, medical could be. No, it doesn't say medical.
Okay.
On like the summary page, it'll just say revolving. It could say other.
Other.
Other,
Okay.
correct. So it could be real estate, installment, revolving, and then other, right?
Okay.
But that doesn't. What I'm saying is when you go and apply to a bank, they only run one bureau. When you go to a vehicle loan, they may run two bureaus.
Two. Okay.
And then when you run a mortgage, is your FICO, which is the middle of all three.
All three of them.
Yeah.
So for me, my sister, right? She went through a little hard time. Like
Okay.
I went through a hard time as well, and she had the purpose in her heart to fix her credit and her husband's credit, and she did it by herself. She would work a regular 9 to 5, and at night it was another job, and she was sending everything, disputing everything. It took her a whole year.
Yeah.
It took her a whole year. Now, bear in mind, her credit was down to like 500 something, and she got it back up to seven something. She was very, very determined to do that. I mean, on the flip side, like a guy like me or other business owners, we don't have time. We have to get a place, or we have to get a vehicle, or I have to get a commercial vehicle, and I need my credit score to be right.
Just remember how you
Right.
started and
Right.
how your success was when you
Right.
would call me and you got the pickup. Oh yeah, we just finished getting my pickup. I got a better rate. I got the house. So it's always like that in order for people to restart their life. Like I said, we could start working on your credit. One bureau gets done, we could go to, and if you're like, oh man, I need a new vehicle, or I need some credit cards because I want to, eventually move to a better place or whatever.
Right.
Then we're telling you, look, you could go to this place. Maybe you could get some new credit cards, or you could get a vehicle loan. Your starts while we are still working on your credit, because we don't stop until you tell us, hey, listen. Like, the only time we're gonna stop working on your credit is when you say you're gonna go get a mortgage.
Right.
The reason being is because banks don't like when your report says account in dispute. So even if you got the credit scores, you go see the mortgage lender afterwards, and before you see the realtor, of course, you gotta see the lender.
Right. You gotta get pre-approved.
You gotta get pre-approved. So from there, you're able to, the bank is going to be like, all right, cool, you got this account in dispute, can't be in dispute. All right, that's nothing. Just call the three bureaus and say, hey, can you take these accounts or everything that is disputed out of dispute? And that's it. Then you start your mortgage process, and, people used to get mortgages, back in the day, 60 days, 45 days, it could be 3 months.
Yep.
And once you get done and you send me a picture of the key that you got, then we tell you to update the three bureaus on the credit monitoring, so we could see if there's any change in credit scores, or if you've got some accounts that came off, and then we restart the credit repair process.
So Giz, what I would say, what would be like the person, the client that they had, bankruptcy, because a lot of people don't know, you can still kick out bankruptcy, you can clear bankruptcy, tax liens. There's some other things that I think one of the things I haven't seen taken out was, and I don't know if you've done it, is student loans, right? Because everybody says,
no, student loans come off.
They come off too.
Yeah,
You can even get student loans.
Which
client have you had that was like, you saw them and you're like, what? The worst. I'm like,
there was this customer that was a business owner.
Okay.
And she was wanted to get what do you want when you work with the government?
Grants, loans.
No, you like a vendor for the government.
Oh, she wanted to be a vendor for the government. Yes.
And she had,
your credit is bad. You can't get it. You can't get the contract.
Yeah. She had 95 negative accounts on each bureau. 95. So
95.
95. I was like, what? Like
95. That report must have been like 40 pages long.
Negative accounts.
What was on there?
Well, yeah.
Oh, it could be medical bills. It could be an account that she didn't pay, because remember, it's business owners.
Were they revolving or loans?
There were loans, and and then plus you're gonna run your credit a whole bunch of times too. So because you can't.
A lot of
No, that
inquiries.
doesn't count. No, that's different.
So
Right.
95.
I've seen people with 65 inquiries or
65 inquiries.
65 to 85 inquiries on
That's a
one
lot.
bureau.
So how many inquiries is safe to say that you can have on your credit report, right?
Well, on a yearly basis,
Right.
You are allowed to have 7 to 8 because they know you may use it for emergencies.
Right.
You may move. You may go and get Verizon. That's like the cable or whatever. But 95 negative accounts on each bureau she had, and then I believe she tried to do a credit sweep, which is called.
A credit. What's the credit? I never heard of it.
Okay,
Have you
credit
ever-
sweep is like sweeping the credit. Is like you gotta file a police report,
Right.
and you gotta send, you gotta mail in the police report and say that everything was fraudulent on the credit report.
Now, can that still happen? Can people still do a credit sweep? Does it work now or no?
No,
no more.
no,
It was
no.
not like back.
I mean,
back-
people will still promote that they do that,
Right.
but
Unless they've been frauded for real.
Right.
but you gotta do different. You gotta do things the right way when you are frauded
it
differently,
fraudulent.
and you gotta be on top of it.
I guess you got to
be on
get
top
the
of it.
bank involved in it. Get
Yeah,
bank
you gotta get a lot of
statements,
paperwork
Got a
and
lot
all
of
that stuff,
paperwork
yeah.
and stuff because if you've
Because
been
it's just not you sending a police report. Look, I've been defrauded. Nah. But with this customer, I believe everything.
95.
95 negative accounts on Equifax and TransUnion and Experian.
Wow.
But wait. I remember her TransUnion didn't have the accounts because she had done a credit sweep.
Okay.
And TransUnion had taken everything off.
They take it.
So
but the other ones didn't.
the other ones didn't. And then we don't know, right? It's like,
She didn't tell you nothing.
She didn't. Of course,
No,
they don't
no,
tell
no.
me anything. But then, like 3 weeks into the process, all the accounts came back from whatever they did.
Ooh, from the sweep.
So another 95 accounts on one bureau. Like,
So what happened? So what happened with those 90?
well, we
Were
started.
You
Things
started working with her.
when you do a job and you tell the customer, you got to give them the expectation of when it's gonna get done.
Right.
And the expectation sometimes for what you do
Right.
could be a
week.
week or a 2 week thing.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay, great. When can you start? But for us, when you have any account, 1 or 95, it's
a
a
lot.
process for each bureau to remove any account from the credit report. But you're gonna see results gradually. I tell people, give us at least 3 to 4 months, because that's at the time that
Right.
people are able to, knock out a goal.
Right.
So if their goal is after bankruptcy or after a divorce, can I go and get a new vehicle, or can I go and get some new credit cards so I could restart my life?
Right.
And then, that's that time is very good to have. It's a give or take. Some people will be able to do things in 2 months. Some people 6 months. Some people 8 months.
Right.
But with this customer, I remember working on her credit after 2.5 years, and I remember she only had like 12 negatives.
Right.
After like 2 years.
Wow. So
From 95
to 12. So you
to
brought
12.
it. You brought it
so
down.
her Equifax was done. I remember she got a Benz.
Whoa.
Yeah, she got a Benz, and like a 4-door Benz,
Right.
And not like an expensive. Probably got to be like a 420.
A C class.
Yeah. But still,
Right. So
coming from 95 negative accounts,
You're doing good.
you are like into a Benz.
Yeah. So for
Hello.
me, I have like a horror story, and so this is story.
Oh, but let me tell you something.
Yeah.
That was also a horror story.
Right.
Because when you have a customer like that, she doesn't trust anyone. Remember, she
Okay.
trusted that other person, and then those
That
accounts
did
came
sweep.
back. Correct.
Right.
Well,
Those
she tried
accounts
to do
came back.
fraud.
Well, she doesn't look.
Right. So
You
so
have certain people, and maybe this is you.
Tell the people right
That's
now
what I'm
that-
saying.
Yeah.
You have certain people that.
Talk to this one.
Okay, you have certain people that they don't care how things get done. You know what I'm saying? They just want it done. And
shady or
But-
not shady.
shady or not shady.
But we know you don't do nothing shady.
No,
Right,
hell,
right.
I don't have to.
Right, exactly. You do it
because
right.
we know how to do it. But you have those type of people that say, whatever it takes. And the scammers, they could, you smell like,
Yes. They smell
hazelnut.
it.
You smell like hazelnut or whatever they like to smell. Or, you smell like, I could do this for you in this amount of time. Oh, yeah.
And they
and
just
you
take
fall
your
for
money
it.
and
Correct.
they get
And it
you.
could be anyone,
Right.
really. It could be. I've had customers that have done credit sweeps that are very smart. You know, engineers,
Right.
people who are doctors. We've had customers
Right.
making great money, like $365,000 a year of income that they make. But you know, when it comes to credit, they don't know.
Right.
You know.
So for me, my story was that there was a religious leader, right, and that religious leader went to a certain parishioner and told that parishioner, "Hey, listen, why don't you? Do you want to make $10,000?" And the parishioner was young. Mm-hmm. She was naive. She kind of didn't understand what credit. She was not really from this company, from this country. She had just came to this country maybe a year. She didn't understand. She just, this religious leader said, "Listen, you can make $10,000 if you help me refinance my home." So she didn't understand she was going to really be buying this religious leader's home. And then after that, in 6 months or a year, he's going to buy it back from her.
Correct.
And in that course, he was going to give that parishioner $10. I mean, $10,000, right? So for a person that comes from a different country, you getting $10,000, I'll sign anything myself, right? But she was naive. She didn't understand. The thing was that religious leader scammed her.
Yeah. He
did the transaction. I think six months or whatever. Afterwards, they did it again, and he was able to get his house back. And what he did was this: he already had her social security number, right? He had all her information. You know what he started to do? Mm-hmm. He scammed her. Now, he got the cable bill, the light bill. He got about 6 phones under this parishioner's name. Everything, water, everything. All the bills ran it up. Thousands of dollars for the water bill, thousands of dollars for the light bill. He didn't care, right? And he scammed her after she helped this religious leader. And guess what? She was down on her luck. About 3 years after she was down on her luck, she went for government help and tried to get like Section 8 or apartments so they can help her out. And they you know what they said?
Mm-hmm. You got a home.
You got a home. What are you talking about? I don't have a home. You have a home. This is your credit report. You have a home here. Oh, and she didn't understand what she really signed for.
Correct.
And it took a long time. Plus your water, you plus this, you plus that. And she really got scammed. So what do I say? I would tell you guys, do not share your social security number with no one. I don't care who it is. It's your cousin, it's your uncle, do not give your information, because once you give your information, you're gonna get scammed.
I had a girlfriend that her aunt took her info.
She took her info?
Yeah, her aunt
what'd she
was
do with that?
She was here in New Jersey, and her aunt was in Florida, and she used to live in Florida back then. So I guess she got her info, and then my ex-girl was like, "Yo, what's all these accounts?" And she had to fix it herself, and it took about 6 to 9 months.
Wow.
For her per different bureaus.
Right.
But it's the agony
Yes.
of doing that, and then on top of that, that it's your family.
Your family that did you dirty.
Did you dirty.
Yeah.
Man, that hurts. And it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But it also tells you, don't trust no one.
No one.
What I'm saying? You don't trust
people.
No
call
one.
up, listen, just
At least not with your credit.
Yeah.
At least not with your credit. I'm very when it comes to that stuff, I'm like, no, they're not your friends. And if they did you dirty, if they scammed you, even though 3 years later they probably started paying you back, I would be like, yo, se te quiere desde aquí, I love you, but from here,
de lejos yo te amo.
I love you from here, you all the way over there, but
So what?
But there's some people that are like you. They'll be like, oh, you can still trust them, but not with money or not with your credit.
Right.
And they can still be your friends. I'm more of the, if you did me dirty one time, bro.
That's it. Bye. Peace.
You got a better heart than I do.
So let's say there's the people that are listening that probably don't know anything about credit, right? What are the things that can be removed from your credit score, or from not your credit score, to boost your credit score and to remove from your credit report?
You see that person who got scammed is a good example of her probably living in different places. Right. And, being there 3 months, 4 months, then you got to move somewhere else. So all those addresses that are on your credit report, the aliases that are written, the wrong names that you have on your credit report.
Wow.
The jobs that you have on your credit report, the phone numbers that you had on your credit report. Because remember, when you went and applied, you had to give them this information. So when you're given this information, a lot of times the person inputting that information may put it wrong. So you have all that is inaccurate information, and that needs to be removed from your credit report. You only need one name, one address. That's it.
Nothing
when
else.
you go and apply, that's when you give them, I want to apply to get a loan. Oh, okay. Well, where you work at? That's when you got to give them your where you work at, a phone number so you could reach out to. But we make sure that that's the essential part of doing credit repair, to be honest, is removing all that negative information.
So what are the negatives? Like, people need to know, can you remove a tax lien? Can you take out bankruptcy?
You know something? I have not seen a tax lien in a very long time, because I remember the government. I think when Trump got in the first time, I think he took off that tax liens are not going to be on the credit report, or the judgments.
The
judgments when they're going to be on the.
Because there's so many. There's charge-offs, there's late payments, bankruptcies, there's collections.
Correct.
There's so many different things on a credit report that'll bring your credit score down.
And what you want to do is, you don't want to pay that collection off. And probably someone watching this is probably probably someone watching this is probably like an advocate that will tell you, oh, don't pay that collection. If anything, you could sue them. Right. But we're not in that business. We're in the business of removing the negative accounts and telling you, listen, we're not here to tell you not to pay it. We're telling you not to pay it right now, because they have leverage over you that is on the credit report. So what we say is, look, you got that collection. You don't have the money right now to pay it off, especially these people that did a cosign, and now that vehicle is repoed, and then they owe the difference from what the car sells for. So let's say you bought the car for $15,000, right? And they financed it for $15,000, but it goes to repo, so they sell it for $7,000, and you owe $15,000. So now, because they sell it for $7,000, the difference is $8,000.
So you have to pay that money back.
That's the charge-off money that you need to pay back. Right? Correct.
So, but you're saying, okay, I can remove that, but don't pay nothing yet. Let me remove it.
Correct.
And then you can call them up in a couple of months and just say, here's money, and pay
correct.
them
You
back.
can set up a payment plan.
You can set up a payment plan individually.
Correct.
But you just want to get it out of your credit, so your credit boosts up, and then you're able to, get more credit, right?
Not only that, but you're able to now have leverage, because their leverage is, it's on your credit reports, therefore you got to pay 60% of the limit.
Right.
They'll come with you with a settlement offer. But now that it's on the credit report, you don't got to tell them how good you're doing. Like, I got a job now, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. People think that because you're going to pay it in full, your credit scores will go up. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if you pay 50% of that, or 20% of that, or the whole amount. It's still going to be on your credit no matter what.
Because on the credit report, it'll say in the comment section, was a collection paid in full.
Got it.
Was a collection paid for less than the agreed amount. The wording on that
is going to be
negative.
Right.
And that's why it needs to be removed. So therefore, whether you settle it or you pay it off in full. Now, if you want peace of mind, because I get a lot of phone calls like this, people wanting peace of mind over them, still seeing their credit increase. So like, all right, look, you want peace of mind? You could pay that off. You could settle it right now if you want. And you'll have peace of mind, because some people, maybe you go to sleep and you're like, I still owe this account. I still owe this.
Right.
I'm in debt. I'm in this. I'm in that. But that peace of mind that things are paid off, that you can't buy. Right. So once you pay it off, You fall asleep. I don't owe no one anything. I'm chilling, but my credit is still bad.
Right.
You know, that's what I tell people. Now, if you could wait, right, until we remove it, and then you could call to make a payment offer or to settle it or to make a payment plan with them. Now, when you pay off that account that you owed, it's not going to show up on the credit report.
It's not going to come out.
No. That's it. It's paid off. It's off your credit report. It's off permanently.
So for me, the takeaways, right? You know, what takeaways will you have, right, Pete, from all of this, right? So annual credit report. Annual credit report.com. So you can get your free credit report right now, right? For free, one report, or twice a year you can set.
Twice a year.
Yeah. Two, you know.
The fastest way is to be added as an authorized user.
Right. The fastest way is to be
especially if
added as an authorized user. Let's say if my daughter wanted to boost her credit up, I can add her onto my credit cards or my accounts, and then her credit score will boost up automatically to grow your credit fast, especially if you have no credit, right?
Correct.
But I think the basic thing is just pay your bills. Just right.
Well,
and on time, right?
you got maybe you got Tyrone and Jerome,
right?
Who,
right? Or Jose
get married to you,
right?
But they got bad credit,
right?
Oh, they have no credit.
Oh, right? So let's say
you got a lot of those.
Maria and Jose is gonna get married, but Maria has bad credit, or let's say Jose has bad credit and she marries Jose. Guess what? She inherits that, right?
No, she doesn't inherit that.
And she's gonna inherit his bad credit in the sense, not through credit report.
I get you.
In debt.
I get
in an
you.
overall
In
debt. Like he has $50,000 and now she feels bad. Now she has to. That's a different podcast, guys. That's a different podcast.
Well, look, because it could be a daughter-son situation that you're trying to raise their credit score immediately, right? But it could also be, hey, you got divorced.
Right.
And the girl that that's, let's say a man gets divorced, his credit is bad, but he meets, Barbara. Right. Barbara sounds like she got good credit.
Barbara sounds like Susan.
And Barbara's like 40.
Chloe. Those are good names that have good credit.
And Barbara's 36.
Right.
Because her time is to have a baby.
Yes.
She thought she better meet
Mr. Right.
Mr. Right.
Yeah.
Whether he got that or not, he like her.
Yeah.
He wants a family.
Yes.
She was like, yo. But anyways.
What about
Barbara,
the credit?
what about the credit? This is when she doesn't have to co-sign. She could just add him as an authorized user to the credit report.
See how that works out, guys? See how that works?
Correct.
And he doesn't need the card.
She could keep the card. She could keep the card if she doesn't get, because there are scammers like that too. They just caught a scammer in the upper East Side.
Okay.
A 70-year-old guy. He had like 5 girlfriends. They all had money. I think it was $1 million that he took from them.
$1 million.
Yeah, because he had different businesses.
Right.
He said that I got this business. You got to invest with me.
And he scammed them all.
He was like a Rico Suave type. I think he was Italian. He looked Italian.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's probably a white guy. He was probably Puerto Rican.
He's probably Puerto Rican. He was one of my cousins.
But you just got to be careful. But when it comes to love,
it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard when especially when it comes to love, money, credit, and stuff like that. So
Just be careful. At the end of the day, though, I would not advise anyone to be a co-signer for anything.
Right. If you listen, guys, if you have credit, do not give out your Social Security card number. If you have, credit, good credit. Don't give out your SS number to nobody. Don't share your credit. Don't share what your credit score is, how much credit limits you have on your credit cards, how you're doing good, because
you can.
You know what's going to happen? They're going to ask for that. They're going to, hey, can you co-sign for me? And then what's going to happen is that you're going to fall in a pitfall, and that credit that belongs to your so-called friend or your cousin is going to be now yours. And you're going to have to eventually pay it because you co-signed them.
Well, now this is concerning people who have things in their own credit report. But people like you who are
Right.
business owners,
Right.
Eventually you're gonna get business credit.
Yes.
Because you have good credit, and the credit that's for your business is not gonna be
It's not
on
going to
the credit
affect,
report.
right, and it's not going to
It's
affect
gonna be
your
on
personal.
your business report,
Right.
and therefore you're able to. You remember, a business has rights just like you and I, a human
Right.
being. All right, so a
Totally
business can
different
have
entities.
property, can have credit cards, can have installment loans of vehicles. So a lot of
Gas cards,
and a lot of people who are business owners who want to do things the smart way, they run their life as a business because eventually, P, he has to run out every day to do the podcast and to do everything. So everything is, tax deductible. Everything is
Right.
gas. Everything, all this, camera stuff, equipment. He of course he had to have good credit to get it.
Right.
But eventually, if it's on the business credit,
Straight cash. Cash
yeah.
is king.
This is when you start off, though.
One advice, because we're gonna wrap it up now. I'm gonna
Sure.
be watching Puerto Rico before. I'm gonna be watching Puerto Rico versus Mexico. Baseball classic. But what one heartfelt tip can you share with the people that are watching? If you summarize one thing, what could you tell them? Like
I would say in order for you to have better credit, and even if you want more credit, just understand that you need income to come into your life. In order, whatever you're gonna finance, you have to pay for it. So whether you max out the credit cards that you have or you keep it at 30%, there's a big difference in how much your credit scores are going to fluctuate. So let's not even talk about the people who are can you get that? I can't believe
Yo, Gizzy, that's Gizzy Credit's background.
That is-
Yo, I can't believe this. Gizzy, wait.
This is my
Can we pick it up? Pick it up. We want to hear it. Pick it up.
no.
No.
This is my soundtrack.
So
Oh, wow, he was in the middle of a great.
wow. So I would say, what would be the best advice you can give?
Not for the person who has bad credit right now.
Not
This is advice for the
the good
person who already has good credit.
Right.
And who wants to get an understanding of how your credit scores fluctuate. Because at the end of the day, even if you have bad credit, right, you want good credit. So once you have good credit, you are the sole person responsible for your credit scores. Because at the end of the day, whether you get added as an authorized user, you're not going to be an authorized user forever. You're going to use that being an authorized user helped you get your own credit. So once you have your own credit, you have to be responsible for it. And just one tip, remember, if you have revolving credit card accounts, and whatever limit you have, let's say is $1,000 limit. Your credit scores are going to fluctuate when you're maxed out. Your credit scores, let's say you're maxed out 80%
Right.
on $1,000, which is $800. You have to understand that your credit scores are going to go pressuring down anywhere from 690 to 715 credit scores. Okay, so let's say on that $1,000 you only owe 100, which is 10%. Then your credit scores could be over 725, 735. Understanding that, because let's say you want to go and finance something in 2 months, and you have credit that you need to bring down in order for your credit scores to be at the highest.
Right.
I understand that when you keep the balances low, your credit scores are going to be
Go higher. And then also, if you're going to get like furniture from Bob's Furniture, from whatever furniture store you're getting, when you have that, then your interest rate when you go apply for a loan for furniture or whatever, it's going to be lower, a lot lower than just having, you're maxed out on all your credit cards. Your credit score is now, it went from a 700 and you're down to 550. Now your interest rate is going to be 19. We had a client, probably about a year ago, and that was their situation. Their situation was that their credit score, they got approved through financing, through us, right? They got approved, but their interest rate was high. When you're getting an interest rate at 15%, guys, wake up. I'll tell you, as a business owner, I'll try to tell you, don't save your money. unless you really need it. Like if you need to do a roof, you definitely need to, it's leaking, then finance it and then try to pay it off quick, right? But you don't want to get an interest rate at 15, at 22%. A good one, an average one is somewhere around 5 to 9%. That's the going rate. If you're there, you're safe and you can get out of that loan. But I tell people, fix your credit. If you fix your credit, you're able to get more credit cards. You're able to expand your loans, and also
the money's cheaper.
Right. To borrow. Let's say if you're going to get a car, if you're going to get a construction loan, or you're going to get a house, your interest rate is going to be lower. I just had somebody I spoke to about a loan, and they started at 3.5 right before the pandemic. Now it's at 6.5, and he says I don't qualify anymore.
Oof.
I don't qualify anymore. So there you have it, guy. You heard it from Gizzy.
Where can they follow?
So Gizzy, you can follow him on Instagram, right?
Instagram. Instagram. My YouTube videos at Gizzy Credit. But if you looking, about getting a quote or whatever for the service, just email me gizzycredit@gizzycredit.com. Or just go to the website, GizzyCredit.
Or you can DM them on Instagram.
DM me on Instagram. I'm always getting back.
And you have a team that you work with.
Oh, yeah.
That does everything and works everything real quick. And
yes.
So the good thing about Gizzy is he's somebody that you can get in contact. If you call them, you DM you'll
text.
You'll respond to them.
Correct.
So guys, there we have it here. Another podcast. Fix your credit. How to repair your credit. This is the guy to do it. He did it for me, right? And you got all the information. I am trying to get on my next podcast, the mortgage guy. That's right, I said it, the mortgage guy. And the other guy is a restoration guy, which is if people go through floods. They go through floods.
Yes.
And they don't know who to call. Disasters, fires, floods, mold. They don't know who to call, right? If you need a roof, call me, right? But
right.
If you just went through a bad fire, you need to call this guy. His name is Nelson Rivera. I'm gonna have him. He's here from Livingston, New Jersey. He's gonna show us on the podcast, the process of how to go through a whole claim through the insurance to get everything fixed, right? And then you're out of a home. Where are you gonna stay at? He's gonna show you. He's gonna show you. You'll be put up in a hotel. The food, the travel, everything's gonna be taken care of. But you don't know that. But I'm gonna have him on this podcast. Keep watching.